think that we all know that China censors its internet, yes, but so does the West. They just hide it. And now the US have pushed a bill which effectively bans TikTok from the US.
The yays are 352, the nays are 65.
They have said to TikTok that you need to leave your parent company ByteDance or else you've got to leave. And TikTok are like, well, who are you to tell us that we need to leave our parent company? We're not doing that. So here we go. The US have banned TikTok.
Keep TikTok! Keep TikTok!
And even if you don't care about TikTok, this bill is hugely consequential because it can have the power to ban any foreign company in America.
So why are America banning TikTok? Well, they believe the Chinese government are pushing harmful content such as drugs, violence and self-harm to the American kids. Whereas for the Chinese version, Douyin, well, they're pushing educational videos, and it is just completely not true. First of all, let me just show you what Douyin looks like. This is Douyin. Okay, the Chinese version. So this is kind of maybe some comedy show or whatever they're doing. Yeah, some kind of like funny thing that they're showing here. Some entertainment. Entertainment again. Trying to make it like a funny video. Nothing really about education at all. Some like movie clip there. Yeah, first of all, I think Douyin is more of an entertainment kind of platform. You get loads of entertainment videos. So it's not like education, as they say. And actually, Douyin, they had problems for many years with nudity, violence and self-harm, just like TikTok is today. So what happened? Well, the Chinese cybersecurity department, they put regulations in place to stop this. So they put it on Douyin, where if you upload a video, you have to wait several minutes because some team is going to inspect that video to see, does it meet the requirements? You know, is it safe to put out? So content moderation is now out there. You don't get any harmful videos, but also there are regulations on place for children. Okay, so I think children, they can only use Douyin for 40 minutes a day. But it's not just Douyin, it's just any kind of social media app. And also for video games, they can only use video games for so many minutes every single day. So it's not just this one app, it's across the board. You see, the way TikTok works is completely up to the US legislators, the ones who make the laws. If the US wanted to, they could do exactly what China did and put these regulations in place. But they know it's a money market, they want to get the money, they want people to be using these apps, and so they're not going to use these rules. And so they're not going to implement these rules. Yeah, there's nothing that stops America from doing what China have done. If they want to stop these kind of videos, they can do that. And TikTok, they will abide by it. You see, loads of platforms have actually come to China, like Google, Facebook, Instagram, and they didn't want to give China the data. Yeah, they didn't want to be open with China. Okay, so they didn't want to meet the Chinese laws. And so they didn't enter the Chinese market. Whereas TikTok, well, they've come into America and they've said, hey, you know what? We're going to follow every law that you say and we're gonna go by it. We're going to give you all of the data. 100% of the data will go through American servers. It goes through Oracle Cloud Infrastructure servers. So 100% of this data is in America. It cannot leave. They have literally done what all of these American apps refused to do when they came to China. So TikTok, they're following the laws, yet America are banning it. And then you have the algorithm, which America are saying that China are manipulating because Douyin's algorithm is vastly different to TikTok's algorithm. Of course it is. Two different companies, two different apps, two different cultures. The Chinese culture, the American culture, totally different. So of course you're going to be having a different algorithm with pushing different types of videos. It just makes sense. The TikTok algorithm pushes what is popular in America. And if it wasn't popular, then they'll be complaining about it. They'll be saying it's propaganda, but they're not. They're loving it. It's getting more popular by the day. The US lawmakers, they're not saying anything about Instagram and Facebook because they are banning these pro-Palestinian accounts. So they are pushing what America wants the people to see. I mean, look, if America really wanted to push this kind of legislation and have more control of the algorithm, they could. They're just not doing it. So the US want to control what information is going out. They just want to hide that from you, right? They don't want to publicly tell you because they don't want to know that they're censoring you. But this is clear as daylight. This is censorship. Why are America not pushing these types of legislations? We need to look a little bit more deeper into it. And that is because some of the bill makers, the ones who make these laws, they invest heavily They have shares in Instagram, Facebook, and Amazon, right? So if you were to pass these laws, you would need to pass it across the board. All of these social media apps would need to follow the rules. And these bill makers only care about their return on investment. They don't care about their kids' well-being. They want more and more people to use these social media apps. And so it will be beneficial that you're putting these harmful content out because it's more addictive. And so it will bring more money in. So what they're doing is they're passing a particular bill which will get TikTok out, but you can keep all of these other apps which are very harmful. You can keep those. You see, TikTok's growth has been enormous in the past couple of years. This year's growth is expected to have $17 billion in sales. Now imagine if all of that went away and you were then to shift that to these American-owned companies. Well, a lot of people will be very happy. A lot of these bill makers will be very happy with lots of money in their pockets. Think about it. And in fact, how hypocritical is it that Joe Biden is using TikTok for his own presidential campaign on the very app which he says is super dangerous, super harmful to us? You know, we're going to have all these data leaks. The Chinese government are going to be accessing the data. Well, okay, you're the most important person in the United States of America. So why are you using this app? You're literally the most vulnerable person, right? This is a national security risk if you're using the app. It shows he knows the app is successful. The app is very good. The technology is good. He just doesn't want China to prevail. He doesn't want Chinese technology to win. This whole issue kind of reminds me of the fentanyl crisis. Instead of blaming American smugglers bringing in fentanyl into the US and using it for recreational purposes and dying, they're blaming it on China. China, yes, they sell it to America for medical purposes. You need fentanyl in hospitals. It's about how the Americans use it. You should pass laws. You shouldn't let people be using it recreationally, all right? So how can you blame China when America needs this, right? So it's about how America should be passing these laws. They have the ability to make these laws and make it safer, but they're not. So just remember, TikTok is not a Chinese app. It is totally separate to Douyin. It has a different team in Singapore running it, operating it, because Douyin was made for the Chinese people. Yeah, the cultures, like I said, are totally different, so you need to have a totally different app. TikTok was designed to be regulated by the West, and in those Western countries, they can decide how it's used. And so this all goes back to the beginning of the video, guys. Yes, censorship is in China, but they do so publicly. They publish their content standards. The US, well, they hide it. They hide it through politicians, the media, corporations, national security. All of this is manipulated. They push things that they want you to see, hide things that they don't want you to see. Think about Israel-Palestine, for example. And this bill that has been passed is super dangerous. Please read it if you haven't already, because it says that any company that operates in America, if it's foreign controlled and that country is viewed as an enemy by the US, and let's face it, most countries are viewed as an enemy by the US, well then they can effectively block their website, they can block their app, they can block their company from operating in the US. What freedom is that? Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.